guys, so this video I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite passes in all of Jiu-Jitsu. But I'm going to give you an overview for the Toreando and how we're going to go about developing it. One is the finish, and then the second one is the setup. So basically, a Toreando, you're passing the guard by going around the legs, as opposed to like a knee cut where you're going inside, or underhook, you're going under. In this case, we're trying to go around the legs. The basic idea that I'm looking for is to turn the guy's hips away and control both legs. One of the main things with controlling both legs that I like is that you prevent the lasso and you prevent like the foot catching your bicep or something if you do it properly, right? If I go in like with the lapel going like this, you always deal with that lasso causing problems, right? If I control both pants and I execute this correctly, he can't lasso, he can't do anything, right? I put him out of position. So the main thing I'm looking for with this pass is to turn his hip away and get around here, right? The two main finish variations that you're gonna do is either what I call like a knee on belly side control style finish, where you go here, or you drop in with your hip and kind of finish like this. The other situation is where we go more north-south. And that'll happen, so kind of crunch up tight. When the guy's really tight like this, I actually do the exact same pass, just trying to turn him. But his crunching makes himself spin. So there's nothing I'm doing different. He's just doing it to himself. So he stays really tight, and when I hit, he ends up turning like a top like that. In this case, the elbow knee was tight, right? So I couldn't come into knee on belly. So when you spin him in north-south, it's easy to drop and try to dig in and push the legs down. So you're kind of getting into space by going from the top down. I'm going to show real quick just like the pressure you want to put on the legs for the basic finish execution. So when you're here, what you want to focus on is this top arm is driving this leg this way, and the bottom arm, or the inside arm, is more pulling the leg outward, right? A little bit pushed that way, but more pulling outward. I see a lot of people, they're trying to drive with this, and if you're driving with this, he can still keep his elbow and knee tight, keep that really tight, and you end up kind of like more like this. You want to get this pull, so that even if he's tight, say really crunch tight, that you'll start to get that rotation in there, right? So turn back this way. So what we want to be doing here, have the pants here, right? I drive this quick that way to turn him over, and I pull. So you get that turn there. There I can go knee on belly, or potentially north-south, depending on his response, okay? The first aspect is his body positioning, right? So it's one thing if the guy's legs are just low and he's like, doesn't know what's happening, you can just run around the guard super easy, right? But some of the main things to consider is his legs can be low. They can also be what I call mid, which is where they're pointed more towards your chest. So if I start grabbing, his feet come to my bicep really easy, and it becomes a little bit more difficult. You got to get in here and deal with this, right? The other one is like high, which is like almost self-stacking. A lot of guys like Michael Lange will do, so they keep their legs really high, and it's hard to do a traditional Toreando. So sometimes you have to mix moves in and stuff. So it's low, mid, high. The other things to consider is guys can be on their, right here he's centered. Some guys will fight on their side, right? And we have to deal with that in different manners, right? So maybe I have to drive him this way, maybe I have to pass towards the top side. So there's a lot of different things to mix in with that. The second variable to consider is the grips that I grab. The grips can change based off of a lot of things, right? Like, for example, are their pants baggy and they slide up to their knees? A lot of times in instructionals, people don't address topics like that. They treat it like the pants are always here. A lot of guys, especially if they're skinny, their pants are riding up, right? Or even like we're in the gym right now, he's got knee pads on, so it's making it difficult to grip. I'm just grabbing the knee pad. Sometimes you grab the shin, or sometimes you grab inside, sometimes you grab outside. It's not like there's one right way to do it. It just depends on the situation. Another aspect to consider is the grips that he has, right? He may have no grips, or he may, it's like, let's say he gets both of my sleeves and he has his feet in my bicep. Well, at this point, I'm in spider, right? I can't really Toreando now, right? But if he has both sleeves without the feet in the bicep, now I can actually Toreando, and it's even easier because he doesn't have frames. If he doesn't have grips, he may actually frame the floor with his elbow, making it a little bit more difficult to do, right? If he grabs my leg or pants here, maybe I need to create separation, I can go this way. You have to understand what controls he's grabbing you with, which changes the setup that you use. So there's no simple way that I can just go, here's how you do a Toreando, because if I give you that, and then the guy's tilted on his hip, or he's got the feet in the bicep, or he's controlling your ankles, things may vary, right? So you have to kind of take this more systematic approach of an overview of understanding, okay?